Hello guys, in this video we are going to have the matchup between Ben 10, the young hero wielding the Omnitrix, allowing him to transform into countless powerful aliens, and CC Goku, the Saiyan warrior with unmatched strength and the ability to transform into Super Saiyan forms. Both are known for their courage, boundless energy, and determination to defend their worlds. Originating from the Dragon Ball Heroes series, Capsule Corp Goku, or CC Goku, an alternate variant of Goku who is considered as the strongest version of Goku, but before we scale him we need to learn about Xeno Goku, who is the second strongest Goku. After the time travel meddling by Trunks caused creation of new timeline, he is summoned by Kaioshin of Time, who selects him as first recruit of Time Patrol to oversee the timeline to fix the damage that potential time travelers like him was causing. So timelines in Dragon Ball universe. We have discussed that the macrocosm is at least 11th dimensional, and that we have the empty space outside that holds all 12 macrocosm, and just like how our universe is a three-dimensional brain floating on higher dimensional structure, the space which is outside should be 12th dimensional, and then we have the Palace of the Omni King, which is higher realm where all the 12 macrocosm is on a pillar and lies outside of the universe, making it 13th dimensional, and then we have the Dragon World, which is the sum total of everything known to exist within the Dragon Ball series, including all 12 universes, the Omni King's Palace, the world of Void, and in order to contain everything it has to be a higher dimensional structure, making it 14th dimensional, which also represent the entire timeline. And there are infinite timelines that represent the Dragon World and overseen by the Kaioshin of Time, and in order to help Trunks, Kaioshin of Time summoned a version of Goku, who is known as Xeno Goku. Time Patrol fought several corrupted versions of past enemies, and even fought someone who had the ability to rip soul energy. Xeno Goku, just tapping into his Super Saiyan 4 form, was detrimental to the timeline itself, but they are still affected by time hacks. Mechikabura, who absorbed the infinite timeline to regenerate endlessly, and was after the power of Toki Toki, who responsible for existence of all dimensions, but Goku and Vegeta needed to fuse to battle this monster, but in the end he was sealed by Trunks and the Kaioshin of Time along with all the timelines, but Toki Toki uses time restoration to bring back all the timelines. During the universe mission, both Xeno and CC Goku met as they had a short sparring session in which both were equal, and we saw the evil Saiyan and Golden Cooler, who knocked out a corrupted Goku, and both Goku and Vegeta fused to form Vegito, and fought the evil Saiyan, and even used Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue, but still no match. But then Xeno Goku and Vegeta showed up and fused to fight. CC Goku taps into Mastered Ultra Instinct to fight Cumber. Then the evil Saiyan was strong enough to fight God of Destruction Toppo. Meanwhile, CC Goku was trained in Ultra Instinct by Grand Priest to have better control. And then we meet Hearts, who had the ability to read mind and was able to effectively dodge both Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. And with the full power of the Universe Seed, he was going to overthrow Omni King himself, who fought Goku, Vegeta, hit, and Jiren simultaneously and won, forcing Goku and Vegeta fusing to form Gogeta. Next we have Silas, who entered Beats World. Beats World is considered as higher dimension since it views the whole Dragon Ball cosmology as Game World. But the thing is, there is a clear distinction between Game World and Dragon Ball World, as Game World is viewed like a simulation and Dragon Ball World as real world. And when Beat entered it for first time, even Trunks was confused when he described it realistic. Beat World is just an alternate timeline where these characters exist as famous fictional character, just like Justice League show episode titled Legends, where they meet people who are just like from the comics Green Lantern Reed during his childhood. And considering Dragon Ball Cosmos works under many world interpretation where anything is possible, it is not far-fetched to assume a regular world exists. Silas had the power to reset reality itself, and once again they needed to fuse to take him down. Then we have Crack of Time, which is said to be outside of time dimension, but this not that Crack of Time is absence of time, but rather separated from the timelines, as all the timelines still exist in the Crack of Time in form of crystals, and to be outside of time would mean that time did not exist for you. There would be no past and no future for you, making it more of an absence of sense of time, trapped with no past or future. So does this makes Outerversal. Not really, it's more like a prison with someone stuck in the present, no past or future, effectively separating them from the timeline. And then we have Fu, whose plan is to grow the Universe Seed to create his own universe by creating an universe tree to absorb the energy of all 12 universes. Xeno Goku and Vegeta unlocks Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4, and Goku compared it to the fusion. Meanwhile, CC Goku and Vegeta once again fuse to fight Fu, but even his energy is not enough to destroy the universe tree, but the Super Shenron was able to remove the roots from the universe. It took the combined effort of two fusions to put a dent on universe tree, but in the end the birth of new space-time was inevitable. Fu entered his final form by absorbing Dogi Dogi, a fake copy of Toki Toki, to obtain his final form, and in this form he had the power to stop time, but Gogeta was able to break out of it using his Limit Breaker form and stated that no matter how skillful one is, no mortal should be able to break it, but Gogeta was able to break through it in ease. The fight is described as hyperdimensional or higher dimensional, and Kaioshin of Time fused the ki of both Goku to be stronger than fusions themselves, and was able to hurt Fu, but Fu was alive, and CC Goku absorbed the power of Universe Tree to reach a new level known as Universal Blue. And we have the battle between CC and Xeno Goku, but the fight was interrupted. Then we have old Kaioshin of Time, who is as strong or even stronger than the current Kaioshin of Time, who was not satisfied with the current one's work, so she decided to erase all the other histories by leaving a true history behind and conducted a tournament to select that timeline. Finally, we have Demigra, who wanted to be the supreme Kai of Time to govern all of time, but got defeated by father-son-grandson trio, but before returning CC Goku sparred against Xeno Goku and won. Now how strong is CC Goku? He is stronger than Meki Kabura, Hearts, Silas, who can destroy all of timelines, reset it, or absorb it. Stronger than Fu after absorbing Dogi Dogi, who is comparable to Toki Toki, who is the reason that dimensions exist, and stronger than Demigra, who is strong enough to replace Kaioshin of Time, making him at least 16th dimensional or hyperversal. CC Goku is faster than Kaioshin of Time, who can see the future, and it's not like precognition, since Kaioshin of Time is the literal ruler of time who can freeze and even extend time, and if mortals like Hit can time skip, then a god who maintain infinite timelines can see the future, and Goku is faster than the future itself to move at a speed unbound by linear time entirely, and thus cannot be measured using the basic speed formula, making him immeasurable speed. Even if CC Goku didn't fight some of these opponents, but Xeno Goku did, not only both are same person, but CC Goku is stronger and can pull of things that Xeno Goku can. Has resistance to soul manipulation. Space-time manipulation can destabilize entire timelines or create a hole through space-time by ki or pure strength. Resistance to time hacks and can move in frozen time. Resistance to existence erasure. CC Goku is stronger than Dragon Ball Super Goku, so he can do the same feat. Ki manipulation. Enhanced senses. Goku has the standard Super Saiyan forms, the God forms, and both stages of Ultra Instinct. Goku is master in all forms of martial arts and surpassed Grandpa Gohan and Roshi at young age, where both of them considered to be master of all no martial arts on Earth, and in Dragon Ball Earth Kenpo can reach to 30th degree, while real-life Kenpo is only on 10th degree. Trained under King Kai, who thought Goku experience equivalent to few thousand years, a couple was 2. A few was 3 to 4, making it at least 4,000 years of experience. Now can Ben 10 defeat the martial artist master? Let's find out. Ben 10. The kid who found the most powerful device in universe capable of transforming him into any alien life form sapient enough to have intelligence with more than 1 million different transformation, but I am going to talk about only one, Alien X. But before talking about Alien X, we need to consider cosmology. The universe to be infinite size based on writer statements, and there are places like Null Void, Anarphedos, Dagon's Dimension, Ledger Domain, and Dimension 12 exist. Null Void. An extra-dimensional prison for intergalactic criminals. It's where the plumbers send the bad guys they catch. But not everyone in the Null Void is evil. The Null Void was originally created by the Galvans as a penal colony. Over time, communities of families sprang up there. Then other species started using the Null Void as a criminal dumping ground. Null Void is also stated to be empty and endless, and depending upon the context, endless could also mean infinite. While the term extra-dimensional means originating outside the known physical reality of the universe, or coming from a world outside Einsteinian spacetime. Null void is referred as pocket dimension. This could mean it's a separate spacetime outside of the main universe, but the second meaning for that term is extra-dimensional, refers to additional spatial or temporal dimensions beyond the familiar 4 dimensions, 3 spatial and 1 temporal, of observed spacetime. And null void could be even considered higher dimension since the Plummer retrieval system used in the episode Voided, where it was considered as unbreakable pan-dimensional retrieving system and pan-dimensional means, or pertaining to all dimensions of reality, or in other words, infinite dimensional. Either null void is a separate universe or infinite dimensional. Paradox claimed the realities that form are based on quantum mechanics with the principle of many-world interpretations. Both quantum mechanics and string theory exist in the verse and used to explain the cosmology.
Any questions, you're going to need to brush up on quantum mechanics and string theory.
Paradox explains how cross-time works and how there are alternate histories, and in those variations he also includes the story of Alien Force game titled Ben 10 Vilgax Attacks, where Albedo was stuck as Alien X for a year, tying in the game continuity as canon to the Ben 10 multiverse, and he ended with ad infinitum, a Latin phrase meaning to infinity or forevermore, which means there are infinite universes in Ben 10.
Guest, cross-time is made up of parallel versions of the history we know. There are hundreds of them. A world where Gwen found the Omnitrix. A world where Albedo turned to Alien X and was trapped motionless for nearly a year. A world where you didn't have to destroy the Omnitrix to defeat Vilgax.
Etc.
Ad infinitum. These worlds are all every bit as real as our own, but they...
And we have ledger domain origin of all mana and magic, also known as true name of magic with mana, has the ability to rip open dimension barrier to reach null void, and all of life force aka mana originate from ledger domain. Mana is multi-dimensional, able to stop phasing one through other universes and able to affect items from 26th dimension, and if you think that null void is pan-dimensional, this would even elevate ledger domain to be pan-dimensional. There are also other evidence regarding higher dimension. The first time higher dimension is mentioned by Albedo by him telling these.
I trust you are versed in the practical applications of 8th dimensional quantum gravity monopole equations?
Then we have in the episode titled Map of Infinity, where we get introduced to the complete map of space-time running through 17 dimensions, which is needed to get to the Forge of Creation where the baby celestial sapiens are formed.
A complete map of space-time?
Extending through 17 dimensions.
Creation is.
It is the source of the universe's greatest power. It's where ideas become real.
And then we have the episode named Busybox in Alien Force, where at the end of the episode, a being named Nalgian, a higher dimensional being who was on an excursion on the lower dimension and lost her daughter's toy, which rivals that of the Omnitrix itself, and confirmed that there are 26 dimensions that matter, referring to bosonic string theory, and the trio will work it out. The fact that Nalgian refers the trio as primitive and young species for only perceiving only 3 dimensions, and from her perspective only 26 dimensions matter, which all lead to Nalgian being 26 dimension in nature.
Not mean to offend. It's just that you are such a young species. You only perceive 3 dimensions. We were on an afternoon excursion to the lower dimensions, and she must have dropped it out of her carriage. Is that right?
Yeah? How many are there?
Only 26 that matter. You'll work
with Duncan Rouleau, who was part of Man of Action, confirmed that all comics made by Cartoon Network Action Pack are canon material, and in the comic titled The Ghost Ship, where he meet these beings who introduce themselves as this. We are beings from an incalculable dimension that defies the limits of space and time. A glorious universe unfathomable to a primitive mind such as yours. The final destination of our heroic voyage on this celebrated trans-dimensional vessel is a small, insignificant blue planet in this, where incalculable means not capable of being calculated and also means unable to be calculated or beyond calculation, and incalculable and infinite are synonyms where both can be considered to be boundless or without any limit, along with their vessel being transdimensional. This means the dimension that they mention are physical dimension, and this confirms the existence of infinite dimensions and support the writer's statement, which would be high hyper in terms of Versus Wiki. Then we have Dimension 12, where it was considered as realm, where Billy states that time doesn't flow in that dimension, and also considered as pan-dimensional by Rook.
There I was, stranded in a dimension where time stood still. Because of Dimension 12's weirdo time effect, I stopped aging!
Could you settle this after we stop a pan-dimensional invasion?
Now we have potentially null void, ledger domain to be infinite dimensional. We have canon comic book statements that prove infinite dimensional, and then we have Dimension 12 being both pan-dimensional in nature, in a place where time doesn't flow. This could be either high hyper or low outerversal depending upon the context. Then we need to consider Paradox, who maintain the flow of time and preserve all of creation by helping the trio in their adventures from time to time, who is not bounded by time, as he is outside of it and unaffected by the changes in timeline. In his debut episode, he fell into the event horizon where he learned about all of space-time and used it to navigate in space-time, and calls it his framework of eternity, not just the universe, and in that sequence multiple mathematical equations which are foundation of reality itself, and presented in this format for viewers' understanding. As one of these you can see in the background is Aleph Null, the smallest infinite number.
Of a time machine. He has a map in his head.
Exactly. I know where all the shortcuts are. I've spent a dozen lifetimes crisscrossing the time stream. Give you a behind-the-scenes look at eternity.
But before we elaborate this, I would like to examine the second concept which would strengthen this theory. Azimuth, the genius Galvin, who is the sculptor of worlds and creator of Ascalon, which can tear through reality, and Omnitrix, the only known level 20 tech in the universe, and Albedo, his assistant, want to prove his worth, and to be better than Azimuth, even tried to create his own Omnitrix by copying the blueprints and stuck as human for a while, but after that he transformed into his old self and hyper-evolved himself using the ultimate feature, with this evolving and being over 1 million years in a worst-case scenario, and still Azimuth was smarter than him. With it confirmed that in the infinite universe of Ben 10 with basis of many worlds interpretation with all possibilities exist, there is no universe exist where Azimuth was evil. And simply he was too smart to be evil.
His mind in the galaxy is Azimuth. But no matter the alternate dimensional timeline, he is always too smart to be evil.
With his hyper-evolved brain and Azimuth's intelligence, he saw everything for what it was. A speck that was bounded by not universal or multiversal, but an omniversal force exists in all realities. With some fictional setting, multiverse and omniverse are synonym to each other, whereas in other cases omniverse is a higher structure. In the All-Dimension Wiki, it's stated to be a verse containing all verses, and the largest structure, and the symbol which represent is none other than Aleph Null, the same symbol, which was presented in the Paradox flashback. And if you think that multiverse and omniverse are synonym to each other in this context, it would be redundant for the smartest being the universe to reject it to be multiversal force, just to bring it back with different wording. Either way, Aleph Null is higher than the likes of Aleph 1 or Aleph 2, which would scale the verse to outerversal, or the omniverse argument were in All-Dimension Wiki stated to be outerversal. Paradox has the Chrono Navigator, which can destroy all of existence, placing it at outerversal at bare minimum, with him calling the omniverse as the plane of reality and the place he resides as plane of existence, as in a plane beyond the omniverse, placing him either at multiple layers into outer or high 1A high outer. And Alien X is stronger than all of them and considered omnipotent by the likes of Paradox and Cervantes, with Alien X capable of destroying Paradox in an instant, and has statements suggest that celestial sapiens are the reason for both art style and voice actor change, and capable of changing the entire story of Ben 10 franchise itself, with them viewing all it is storybook as they exist outside all of space and time. With Alien X can erase all of existence as well, placing him at high outer to boundless.
You think this omnipotent monster is the good guy?
With Alien X is outside of space-time continuum and can work outside of the omniverse beyond time, exist everywhere at once, making him immeasurable speed, but entities with irrelevant speed are often depicted as being outerversal. However, it is possible for entities below outerversal level to achieve this type of speed. Reversely, an entity can have outerversal level abilities while possessing below irrelevant speed, depending on the context. So Alien X being outerversal could place him at irrelevant speed. Alien X can fly, has complete control over the nature of space-time itself, element control, mind manipulation, dimensional travel, size manipulation, duplication, nigh omniscient as he was able to create the entire universe with only one change, was said to be the cause of art style shift and change in voice actor, plot manipulation, and said to defy logic itself, creating a paradox, cosmic awareness, force field creation, regeneration, teleportation. Ben and Base have learned and trained from his grandpa and in Plumber's Academy, and with his photographic memory capable of analyzing the situation, but in Alien X is nigh omniscient, he could learn any martial arts within the universe within seconds. While he never needed to do that when he is a cosmic deity, but there is no limitation that state he can't. With this said, who will win? The one who's said to be God, or the one who surpassed God? This category goes to Alien X, with him being the omnipotent and is stronger than Paradox, who lives in a different plane of existence and can destroy all of reality, while Alien X viewing all Omniverse as storybook, placing him at high outer to boundless, while CC Goku is only hyperversal. Both are immeasurable speed, while Goku is at best is immeasurable speed, while Alien X is at low ball is immeasurable speed. Since Alien X should be faster than Paradox, who should have immeasurable speed, this further support Alien X having irrelevant speed, so this category goes to Alien X. Alien X has plethora of hacks. While Ki is considered life energy, which is outside of Alien X control, like mana, which also considered life energy, but Alien X can change the nature of mana to control it, and likewise he can do the same thing with Ki, and can drain Goku's energy or make Ki non-existent, with him still being susceptible to corruption of mind by evil Scion Cumber. Alien X can use mind control, so with the vast amount of hacks, this category goes to Alien X. Goku has experience over 4,000 years, while theoretically Alien X nigh omniscient mind could help any martial arts on Earth, while Goku comes from an Earth with far better martial arts than our own, so this category goes to Goku. So in the end, the winner is Alien X. With his superior speed, power, and hacks, he could outdo any of CC Goku's attacks, and while Goku has high battle IQ, he never faced anyone on this caliber. After reaching the God tier in terms of strength, let's dial back to the beginning and have street-level matchups starring with YaForger versus Kim possible. Stay tuned to find out.